Let this circle represent 1 crore rupees. This is what 10 crore rupees would look like. This is what 100 crore rupees look like. This is what $1 billion looks like. Mukesh Ambani has a net worth of 102 times this number. And then there's you. Maybe you're in a job or a job that you don't even like. You're scrolling reels all day. You're confused about your life. Maybe you are just a student. You're in debt. You are lazy. You procrastinate a lot. You don't know what to do in life. There are multiple directions. The negative people around you, your family, your co-workers, your schoolmates, your college mates, whoever it is. But the only thing you have is a hope to make it someday. Now, the only question you ask yourself is, Himanshu, how do I get wealthy? Well, personally, me, after meeting multiple billionaires and multimillionaires, I figured out 4 skills that all of them had in common. The last one might shock you to the core, but all of them had these 4 skills. And in this video, we're going to cover what are those skills, how you can become a master at it, why are they really important in your life, and without them, you actually cannot become rich. Number one thing that you need to focus on is problem solving, because the whole game of business is nothing but just problem solving. So if you become good at it, you are going to naturally become good at business and technically become a billionaire in your life. Let me tell you a personal story, a very small example of how I solve problems. I was doing around 10 lakhs a month and my funnel was working great. It was making a 3x OS. That means I put 1 rupees in, I get 3 rupees out. And that time I was like, if I can get 1 crore, I can turn 1 crore into 3 crores. And that was the whole idea. And I was like, I need more money because I don't have in my bank account. In my bank account, I might be having 3-4 lakh rupees. So the maximum I can spend is 3-4 lakh rupees and then wait for 1 week, because after the 1 week, the webinar would happen, and then make 3x of it and then rotate the money. I wanted to do it fast. What did I do? Because I need urgent cash. I cannot take a loan because my business is not big enough. I cannot ask my friends or family because they are more poor than me. And I don't have any spare cash left. And here's when I called one of my friends who was that time a millionaire. And I called him, I'm like, yaar, this is a simple problem. I don't have money for this. And I actually want to spend more on ads so that I can scale, and I want to get to 1 lakh a day. That means 30 lakh expense in a month, and every 7 days the money would rotate. And in a bliss of a second, he gave an answer. Credit card naam suna hai. I was like, oh my God. Because the moment I heard that, I was like, shit. He's like, तेरे बैंक में 10 लाख 20 लाख का ट्रांजैक्शन हुए? मतलब हाँ हुए. Just go to your near bank, contact the branch manager or the person who is heading that, get a credit card. I was having SDFC and I got the card, I think it's called Millennia. It's a blue color card and it has a limit of 1 lakh. So I use that card, I put it into Facebook ads. Now every time I'm spending money on Facebook ads, I earn points due to which I can travel and get hotels for absolutely free. And now the money is spent on Facebook ads. I use the money in my bank account as well. At the week the webinar happens, I get the money back. I put back into the credit card because there's no interest. There's a 30-day limit. So there's no interest on that. I put the money back into the credit card and boom, I rotate the money again. And from that, I went from doing 10-20 lakhs a month to doing 50-60 lakhs a month in a period of 2 months. Why? Because I got cash, and not cash from anyone, but from a credit card. It's just a very small example of solving problems and thinking them through on how you can get that done. Now the question is, how can you get actually better at problem solving? Because everyone says problem solving is important, but how do you get better? Well, there are 3 simple ways that I've found in my life. Number 1, strategy games. If you can somehow develop the logical reasoning part of your brain that leads to you solving more problems, I have seen that you actually become better at it. I have been a national chess player. I have been a very good Sudoku player. I know checkers very well, and I've played multiple strategy games throughout my life, due to which I have become really good at problem solving because I can logically reduce them down to the simplest fact and then solve from there. Number 2, read about first principles. It's a concept by Elon Musk. I'll not say much about it. Just YouTube first principles somewhere in a different tab, and then you can watch a whole video on first principles and how do you think using first principles. Number 3, problem case studies. One of the problems that I showed in front of you was I had lack of money. I used credit card. I rotate that money. Now you can use that same everywhere else. You can use it for softwares. You can use it for salaries. You can do it for anything. So that's why you need to have multiple problem case studies in your life. on how other people have solved some specific problems into their business. And for that, you need to watch problem case studies, not business case studies. Just watching how did Gucci become so big and thinking that you will apply in your business, I don't think that makes sense. But watching problem case studies, like how did people actually figure out a solution regarding a particular problem by using very simple techniques. The more you build them in your head, the more mental models you create. The more mental models you create, the faster you become at problem solving. Number 4, horizon of info. I feel the aha moment really comes in anyone's life is when two intersections happen. An intersection of this industry and an intersection of this industry. And whenever there's an intersection, you get an aha moment. And that's why I feel you should have horizon of knowledge, not just in one particular art or field. I have friends who are in architecture and they tell me a concept. I'm like, that is brilliant. I can use that in marketing. Why do not I use this on my funnel or my marketing or my business? And when you have a horizon of information floating around you, the world becomes your teacher, because everything you're doing day by day just gives you knowledge on, actually, this is smart idea. I should do it as well. I'll just tell you what happened 5 minutes ago. We were shooting content and one of the team members had this app called Creators app in which you can watch all the DSLRs at once and give feedback live. And I was like, why don't I do it on my webinars? It's because if someone is sitting live watching my webinar as my team member, they can actually give me exact input that I need on that time in the chat box. And it's just an intersection because content and webinars are two different things. But if I merge them out, it's like, wow, this is something that I can do for myself. Number 2, sales and influence. You're selling 24/7, 365 every single day of the year to everyone. You're selling your boss, you're selling your girlfriend, you're selling your friends, you're selling your team members, your clients, customers, investors, and who not. And you're technically selling everyone at every given moment of time. It might be a product, it might be a service, it might be an idea, it might be a vision, whatever it is. But you are selling something at that particular moment and you need to master the skill as soon as possible. When I got to know that this is the skill that you need in order to get as fast as cash possible in your bank account, is the time I really drilled down on it. Because I'll tell you, I was working on a 6,000 rupees per month job and I was like, even if I get 10% increment every 6 months, I'm never going to become rich with that maths. And I was like, I need to make more money. So I went to my boss and I'm like, what can I do to make more money? He's like, sell more. I sell, that's why I get paid the most. I'm like, okay, what can I sell? He's like, seminar tickets. I used to get 35 rupees commission on selling a 800 rupees seminar ticket on a cold call. You would not believe, but I still, to the date, I have a company called Backing Closers, which has hired and fired around 200 closers by now. Till date, there's not a single closer who has beaten my record. 800 dials in a single day. And not just for one random day, for months straight. And that is the obsession you need to have in order to master any skill. I got to know it's sales that will bring money. Cool, I'll do 800 dials a day. You know what happened? From 6,000, I went to 19,000 rupees in the same month itself because now I'm selling. Imagine 35 rupees commission I'm getting, but I'm selling so high of a volume, like every single day, that I'm able to cumulative triple my income in a single month. And if you're like, hey, I'm a student, I'm in job, like I have thousands of excuses to give you, well, you don't have excuse except sales. Like you travel in your metro, your cab, you sleep 1 hour late, just sell in that time and sell for someone else, not for you, and get a commission out of it. You'll become richest the fastest. And that's just one example. I got to know that to automate a webinar, you need to do 50 webinars. That is one webinar a week for 1 year to automate your webinar. And I was like, too much time, I don't have it. You know what I did? 3 live webinars a day. One morning 11, then 3 p.m., then 7 p.m. Live every single day. 3 webinars every single day. Not for 1 day, 2 days, straight 3 months, 4 months. What happened? Well, I was able to complete 90 webinars in a month. Practice, bro, practice, relentless practice. One more example. People say, oh, Himanshu, it's too tiring to record ads. I get tired. I recorded 150 ads in a single night. What are you talking about, bro? 150 video ads in a single night. It's just relentlessness, because you are just a lazy who is trying to get rich by finding the best shortcut possible. And I'm telling you, long term is the biggest shortcut you can take for yourself. If you can just fixate your mind that I'm here for 3 years, I'm here for 5 years, I'm here for a decade, you can change your life forever instead of just focusing on, क्या 60 days में कुछ हो सकता है क्या? Nothing would happen in 60 days is because you give it so short of a time, it cannot grow itself because you have given it so short of a time for itself. Now you might be thinking, Himanshu, how do I actually get better at this? Well, I already gave you the answer. Relentless practice. There's only one way to become a master of sales and influence. You can watch thousands of sales calls, you can watch other people's webinars, you can watch most influential talks, you can do all of that. Yeah, that's good. You can read a lot of books, watch courses, but not going to help, because there's a difference between reading about swimming and actually doing swimming. What I would recommend to you is just pick up the phone, partner up with someone who has leads, can give you leads to call on, and just relentlessly start to call. And the more you do it, the more relentless practice you do, the better you become at it in the long term. Skill number 3 that I saw common between all those billionaires and multimillionaires was delegation. Not automation, but delegation. And the reason I'm saying scope is because when you delegate, you scale your time. And when you scale your time, money automatically scale. I saw common between all those millionaires and billionaires, whenever they get an idea, they don't just start working on it. They literally pick up the phone, call their EA or whatever it is, and they say to the person, this is the idea, write it down somewhere, get 3 people who you think are the right fit for this, and get them on a Google Meet 1 hour from now. See, speed and delegation at its core. Like in 1 hour, he's going to execute that idea because he got it right now. And that's how fast they are. That's how fast I am in building my businesses. Because if you take time, well, competition is going to eat you. Because Mark Cuban said it very wonderfully. You need to act like your competitor is working 24/7 to beat you. And if you work with that kind of hunger, that's when you build a monopoly business, or else you are just another coach, service provider, agency, whatever you are in a landscape of thousands of them, and you are trying to be fitting in and not trying to rule the market for yourself. I'll tell you a personal story that happened with me. I was working at a company called Full Scoop. It's a digital marketing agency for hoteliers. And the owner was Manish Vaswani. I used to get paid, I think, 15,000 or 18,000 per month as a CSM, which is client servicing manager. So I need to have like 10 clients. I used to manage them and I used to get paid 15 to 18,000. That's what the whole idea was. I worked over there, I think, for 6 months. The owner was Manish Vaswani. One day I go to the owner and like, you know what? You make a lot of money because we handle clients. Why don't I make the money? And I solve a lot of problems in this company. I have solved this problem, branding problem, that problem, whatever. But you get paid the highest even though I solved the most. And then he said one thing which is like, I was like, wow. And he said this line which is, who, not how. He's like, you try to figure out how to solve a problem, I figure out who can solve the problem. And you know how to, and I figure out who. That means you. So you solve the problem for me and I get paid the most. I was like, shit. Because that's when I realized that all people who are rich are actually delegating. They're not trying to solve the problems on their own. Yes, it's an important skill. Yes, it's to the core. Yes, you need to be a master of it. But every time you cannot do that because there are thousands of problems coming at your way every single day. So you can't handle all of them. You need to actually master the art of delegation so that you can take a problem, delegate to the right person, and he can solve that particular problem while you can solve something that is bigger complexity while that person takes care of a smaller problem. And that's why you become more wealthy, because they use their brain to solve a mini problem. You use your brain to solve a complex problem. Both combined creates wealth, which you keep majority and they get a salary out of it. And you need to understand for yourself that if you master this art of delegation, bro, you can run multiple companies at multiple times. A lot of people say that focus on one business, don't serve multiple businesses. I think it's flawed. Watch Elon Musk. Like 6, 5, 10 companies, whatever, while building a Dogecoin and while selling flamethrowers on the side and while buying Twitter on the side. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Just it's a way of saying that, bro, I'm lazy. I think so. It's a way of saying that I am lazy. Because what's that guy printing businesses left, right, and center, each valuing above $1 billion? It's not a joke. The reason he can do that is because he understands how to delegate the problem properly and solve more complex problems himself. Similarly, I have also run multiple businesses throughout my life. I have eyes, I have backend closer, I have MailJar, I have Verify, and I have multiple businesses like this. And now all of them are delegated and I focus on the new business over it. You need to see the same for yourself on how you can solve the most complex problem and delegate everything else. Now you might be thinking that, how do I get it better? Is there a course on it? No, there's no course on delegation. If someone is selling buy this course to become a master of systems and delegation. No, you can't become a master by just reading a course. And there are books on it, but that would not help you a lot. What I have seen personally working for me is that to learn delegation, you need to be a master of nuance and micro details. That means watch people who are 10, 20 steps ahead than you, how they delegate. And once you see a common pattern between all of them, then you start copying it for yourself. Example, all my friends who are partying all day while becoming rich, I was like, how do I do that? He's like, because I have an EA. And I get free in 4 hours. I'm like, oh, I need to get an executive assistant. I get one. I see someone else. Hey, how are you getting those leads into a Google Sheet automatically and getting the reminders and putting them in a calendar? He's like, because I use a tool called Pabbly. I'm like, oh, there's something called Pabbly and Zapier. Just watch other people who are 10 steps ahead of you. Watch the nuance and micro details of it, and you'll be able to figure out for yourself. And that's the fastest way of automation, is because they have already crossed the path that you are onto. And last is thick skin. If other people's opinion start bothering you, then you're going to change your decisions as per that, leading you to not build actual wealth because you know your business better than everyone else in the world. And why it is the most core skill you need to have in your arsenal is because others' people opinion is going to change your decisions in the long term, which will change your trajectory to being broke, not being rich. I'll tell you a simple example. And thick skin is also layered, right? So there are people who are commenting, obviously you don't care about that. But then there are people who are fans, then people who are your co-workers, then people who are your team, then people who is your family. I'll tell you the biggest example, which is of the family. I am becoming rich. I'm trying to make money. I think around 25 lakhs a month. And at that time, my team members are like, we are scaling very fast. Himanshu, please stop. We are scaling very fast. What's that? That's opinion. I need to have a thick skin to be like, the scaling really slow, because 25 lakhs a month in the scope of world of business is joke, is not even a grain in the whole beach sand. So it's a grain, right? We're scaling really slow. I want the whole beach. We don't even have a grain yet. It's an opinion that they impose on me, and I'll not let that change my decision of going to a direction on, because I know what I'm doing. I'll give you another example. I crossed once a year, I think, and my all podcast came here and there. And that time my mom saw all the podcasts saying like, it's too much money. You need to slow down. We can't handle all of this. You should stop the businesses. You should scale down them. You should not do this reckless spending. You should not be seen at places. Again, opinion. I need to have a thick skin to be like, cool, it works for you, not for me. And keep on going on my path. Because those small things happening again and again and again and again lead you to change your decision, and that change in decision influences of what you actually become in your life. So I'll tell you a personal story that happened with me. One of my clients was part of my mastermind. I told him every tactic, every technique, everything to scale. Funnel hacked the whole thing, and we got to a ROAS of 2.5x. That means we spend 1 rupees in, we get 2.5 rupees out. Good machine. And then 1 week later I call him, so how's the business? And he's like, same. I'm like, why? He's like, I did not scale the ads. I'm like, fine, you'll do. Cool. 3 months go by. I'm like, why are you not scaling? You have the best thing that is in front of you, which is a machine. Put the money here, get the money out here. He's like, I'll do, Himanshu, for sure. This week I'll do. I'm like, cool. 6 months goes by. I go to that person's house to meet him. And I'm like, what is happening? And his wife was around, so he took me in the balcony. And then he said, Himanshu, because I feel if I scale, a lot of people will start hating me. I'm like, why? Because he's like, because a lot of people will see I'm promoting myself. And see, that's a simple limiting belief that was stopping him back. And that limiting belief led him to not scale ads for 6 months of a perfectly working funnel. You need to have a thick skin in order to make money. People with weak skins don't make money for themselves. And now you might be thinking, how do I become better at this? There's only one way. Get more exposure. Find people who are above your level, be around them, and see that they don't give a F about other people. And all other opinions they consider, they humbly say thank you for it, they do everything, but it doesn't affect them, not even a single bit, not even to a level that 5 minutes after they're thinking about it, they've already forgotten the moment the person said. And these all 4 skills, when combined, you can see how deadly of a combination it makes, and that deadly combination is what builds real wealth in the long term. And if you see all these skills combined, here's 4 observations I made. All of these skills are not just business skills, but they're life skills as well. Like, imagine, problem solving can help you in your life as well, right? Delegation will help you in your life as well. And being a thick-skinned person will also help you with your relatives, obviously. So all these skills are just not business skills, but they're life skills overall. Second, they are not just trend-driven that, this new AI thing has come out which is helping other people. So it's not like that. These skills actually take time. And what I've understood is 3 things compound with time. Number 1 is money. It compounds with time. Number 2 is reputation. Reputation for sure compounds with time. And number 3, skills. If you keep on working on it, it just compounds. It's not a linear graph that you get better. It's an exponential graph. You become so better after some time that there's literally no one competing with you because you spent years and hours and months and a decade even on solving one particular thing for years and years and years straight in the line, and that's how you become really good at it because you compounded the effort overall. Number 3 thing I observe is that this is not some 30-day or 90-day quick crash course skills. You cannot be good at problem solving in 90 days. You can become better, but you will not be good. I'm saying like above average as well in just 30 days or 90 days. It's because these are the skills that take time to grow up, that they time to fertilize themselves. And when you just leave it to marinate, you would see that with time, these get better and better and better and better. And actually, you become a person who is valuable of them. And these are something that someone cannot take from you. They can take your money, they can take your power, they can take your company, they can poach your team members, they can do all of that. But what they can't truly take away is your skills. You'll see a lot of billionaires and multimillionaires saying that if everything goes away, I'll get it quicker this time. The reason they can say that is because they know that in that process, they have built those skills and they know that I can get it all together because no one can take those skills from me. And the last point I observed was these are never ending skills. You just need to keep on practicing. It's not like on year 5th, I'll become a master of this. There's nothing like it. You just keep on working on them continuously every single day for the next month, for the next year, for the next decade, and technically for your life in order to become really, really good at them. And that's what I saw between all the millionaires and multi-billionaires common. Let me know what was the best skill you found and you're going to work on in the comment section below. I'll be waiting to read your comments personally. And if you found this video valuable and if you see an upcoming billionaire in your friend circle, share this video with them so that they can get value out of it. Thank you so much for watching.